Peace and blessings. This is Esaia Mystic coming to you with another video to help you free your heart and soul. Today I'm talking about K. Michelle speaking on men are not good people. And Derek Jackson was there on like a radio show, and K. Michelle was breaking down how men are not good people, right? And she said the only good people that there are, at least in the realms of men, are Jesus and Obama. So she continued talking, and the radio show host asked her, well, what about your father? What about your dad? What category would you put him in? Is he in that like 0.001% of Jesus and your dad and Obama? Is your dad in that category? And she didn't immediately respond. She hesitated. And then she said, well, I want to say yes because that's my dad. And so the conversation kind of continued from that point. But I want to point out that that wasn't the honest truth that came out of K. Michelle's mouth. She hesitated, which meant that there was more that she had to say, which means it wasn't a overall yes. Okay, you know when somebody is gonna be like, yes, that person belongs in this good man category. She didn't do that. And so because she didn't immediately say yes and immediately give her response to whether or not her dad belonged in that category, has a lot to say about how she truly felt about men in general. And she went on to say, yeah, because that's my dad, because that's my blood, basically, I want to say, yeah, he's a good man, but in reality, I know that he is still not what I would consider or what I see as the ideal picture perfect man. So I decided to make this video because I feel like there's a lot of women who have this ideal or this vision of what a sacred masculine man is in their life, yet they feel like it isn't being fulfilled, it isn't being played out in so many different ways. And this is something that the men in the radio show couldn't really see. K. Michelle couldn't even really see it because, you know, everything was happening. But as I watched the video, I could 100% tell that she feels something that a lot of women feel, even women who would consider themselves in good relationships or being surrounded by good men, that there is something that is lacking when it comes to sacred masculinity. There isn't a standard that isn't being upheld when it comes to sacred masculinity, and that is because a lot of people don't even really know what being a sacred masculinity even is. We've got to start acknowledging that right now men and the quote-unquote what's supposed to be seen as masculine isn't really masculine energy. Sacred masculine energy, and a lot of masculinity that's being played out today is, you know, a lot, as we know, is toxic or it is distorted. So maybe it's not flat out toxic masculinity, but maybe it is a distorted masculinity, meaning this is a upheld standard of what masculinity is, of what being a man is, that majority of people in society are clinging to. Yet the truth in masculinity and what real and true masculinity is, nobody has any real picture of what that is, okay? The media, okay, the music videos, the TV, the, you know, the famous people, the people that people and regular people in Western culture are influenced by, don't necessarily uphold what it means to be a sacredly masculine man. And so I think K. Michelle, in her expressing that all men are not good, should let people know that this is something that not just K. Michelle has thought, and it's also not something that is just, oh, that's K. Michelle and K. Michelle just attracts these types of men. No, that's not true. I firmly believe that you can be any kind of woman. You can be any kind of woman and attract this distorted and toxic masculine energy, because not only is it in men, but it is in women. It is everywhere. It is in the way we think about life. It's in the way we move through life that subtly takes away from what it means to be an honorable man, from what it means to be a truthful man, what it means to be chivalrous, what it means to have purpose. A lot of men are not rooted in purpose, are not rooted in their soul. In their soul. And when you're not rooted in your soul, it's a lot of things that can go left in your actions and what you do and how you treat people and how you treat the world around you. Okay, it's because you know you're so powerful, because you're masculine, you know, because you know you have all this power to exert and to be forceful and move things and make things happen. You're creating all of this destruction, subtle destruction, all because you are out of sync with your soul, you are out of sync with your emotions, you are out of sync with your balance, with your sacred masculinity. So I don't even want to say it's out of balance with your divine femininity, because I feel that when the toxic and distorted masculine really comes about, has a lot to do with him distorting the feminine energy as well inside of him. So we've got to really start upholding the standard of what it means to be a sacred masculine man. It's so many times that I feel, or I would say I see, men not holding other men accountable, not holding other men to you know, a standard, and also not having sacred and intimate relationships with men, with other men. It's like men are scared to have real, genuine relationships with their own energy, with their own masculinity. And so this also creates a surplus of men who feel like they can only be their emotional self with women, or only have this energetic back and forth with women. And if they do anything like that with men, it will go left real quick, or it will be some type of something. It's like a lot of fear in that area. So I just made this video to touch on this topic because it's so deep and it's so vast, for people to really understand that, you know, it's not just K. Michelle, it's not just, oh, that girl over there who got in this situation because X, Y, and Z. It's a real thing, okay? The sacred masculine needs to really begin to be upheld. People really need to understand what and who the sacred masculine is. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and let me know what you think in the comments about sacred masculinity, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.